Morning. I'm Barrett, and welcome to another episode of What a Twist. We have a pretty good lineup for you this week. Going to start with a Netflix comedy special again. This time it's by Dave Chappelle. I think he's like the funniest man alive. This guy is really amazing. It's from an older special of his called Equanimity and the Bird Revelation. And here's the trailer for it.
A lot of people think I'm from the hood. That's not true. Sometimes I'll hang out with rappers like Nas and them, and these motherfuckers will start talking about the projects. Yo, it was wild in the PJs, yo. And I'll be like, word, nigga, word. But I don't know. I have no idea. My parents did just well enough so that I could grow up poor around white people. That first sleepover at a white friend's house. You come back home on Sunday and just look at your parents like, y'all need to step your game up. Everything at Timmy's house works.
With a bunch of jokes all day like Dave Chappelle.
I came back here because I will shoot my final Netflix special tonight. And after this shit, it's time to make America wait again.
Yeah, and then the second show is the Bird Revelation, and it's in a small club.
Really bad out here, isn't it?
All right, so there you go. This special was first released back in 2017. Its rating is TV mature because Dave Chappelle swears a lot. Equanimity is only 63 minutes long, and The Bird Revelation is only 49 minutes long. So combined, less than 2 hours. It's an easy sit down to watch. As long as you don't get too offended by, like a lot of these comedians just speak their minds and they say shit that 99% of other people would not even think of saying, and they go ahead and say it, and they get into so much trouble these days. And I just love the fact that people like Dave Chappelle and Jim Jeffries and all these other comedians are just saying, yeah, fuck it, whatever. What are you going to do? Bill Burr was making jokes about it in one of the last specials we just highlighted in a previous episode. So if you can handle the subject matter, then sit down and watch that comedy special. It is fucking awesome. Next up is a Netflix original animated series based on a really famous video game called Castlevania. It's fucking hardcore, I'll just warn you right now. And here's the trailer for, I think it was season 2. Lots of really good voice acting in this series. Yeah, people like Malcolm McDowell, Richard Armitage, Jason Isaacs. Probably a lot of you people watching this have no fucking idea who I'm talking about, but Jason Isaacs was the guy who played Malfoy's father in the Harry Potter movies. Richard Armitage was the lead dwarf in the Hobbit movies that Peter Jackson made. Malcolm McDowell, he's just a fucking legend. Clockwork Orange and many other really fucking weird shows. In case by watching this you haven't been able to tell so far, Castlevania is set in a world where Dracula has lived and lives. There's vampires and other really fucking nasty things that go bump in the night. And there's a hero, and Trevor Belmont meets this magician lady friend of his. I cannot remember the character's name for the Cypher. And together they go around fucking up any bad guys they find. This series is shockingly violent and graphic in that way. There's a lot of sexuality and nudity, and there's a lot of swearing. So yeah, this cartoon's fucking hardcore. It's not for the weak of heart. If you think you can handle that kind of a cartoon, then I would highly recommend it to you. If I'm not mistaken, there's 3 seasons for it now. It was first released back in 2017. I really hope there's even more seasons to come. It's amazeballs. Fucking love it. Our third selection for today is a Netflix series called Narcos, and we're going to show you the trailer for that right now. And of course, if you haven't seen this before, it's all based on Pablo Escobar, played by that guy.
You were 28 years old. You have so much money you can't even count it.
Wagner Maura, I think his
Yo soy
name.
Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria, haciendo negocios, así que pues fresco. Ustedes venían.
Plata o Plumbo.
Plata o plomo.
But I don't feel ahead of myself.
And here's that Boyd Holbrook, who just saw in that In the Shadow of the Moon trailer.
Right, huh? What you got? What is that?
Oh yeah, catching a bunch of hippies with weed back in the 80s and 70s.
Before long, we were seizing 60 kilos of coke a day.
Tons of coke.
The hippies have been replaced by Colombians, and these guys, we were witnessing the formation of the famed Medellin cartel. There was
Oh, Luis Guzman, so good.
the Ochoa brothers, and last but not least, Pablo Escobar. Before long, the Narcos
Pedro Pascal was in this, of course, as well.
and that America.
Now you see him in just about fucking everything. I really like this series. I love the visuals for showing what Colombia looks like. Like, despite the fact that, you know, the favelas and the slums look like incredibly horrible, terrible places to live, it looks beautiful. It's a true story that, to wrap your head around, to think that that shit happened 40 years ago, it's kind of fucking up. Well, I guess you see that with people like El Chapo as well, as I guess.
We had no idea what we were in for.
And that was the trailer for Narcos. It was first released back in 2015. There's 3 seasons for it. It is one of the best retelling of a famous event, like the catching of Pablo Escobar and his execution. I can even remember from when I was a little kid. They were showing his dead body covered in blood and everything. Like, you live that kind of lifestyle, it's not too surprising. You know, the Americans and their war on drugs, they weren't doing it because Americans were dying or overdosing or any of that shit. They were just fucking pissed off because they weren't getting their cut of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. And, you know, they fucking came down heavy on those fuckers. And, yeah, the ending isn't too surprising. But if you are really interested in that kind of a subject, I would highly recommend Narcos. I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great series. I really hope some of you decide to check it out if you haven't already. The last series we're going to do today was first released by Blue Bush Productions back in 2014. I first caught wind of this because I read the book that was written by Chuck Hogan and Guillermo del Toro. And then I heard they were making it into a live action series, which they did. There was 4 seasons for it. It's not bad. If you really want to get good, you know, a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good experience, you'll want to find the books. It's called The Strain. It's about vampires, fucking nasty vampires. And here's the trailer for season 1.
Throughout my life, I've learned what it feels to cross a line. That line, it has been crossed now.
Jarrett Stoll is in this, or Corey Stoll, sorry. He was the bad guy in the first Ant-Man movie, and he's popped up in a few other shows. David Bradley is in this. He played the caretaker called Filch in the Harry Potter movies, the cranky old fucker with greasy long hair.
Seen this disease before. All the passengers dead and alive. They must be
Yeah, see, there he is. So yeah, these vampires are like a parasitic worm that infest the host and turns them into these vampire creatures who pass on the virus to the next person they bite, thus creating a nasty scenario where like New York City is under lockdown because there's vampires just tearing the fucking city apart. As I said, the books were way better, so you might want to check those out if you get the chance. But as you can see, it was first released on FX. I bought the series while you still could off the PlayStation Store, so I own all 4 seasons. They're pretty good. They're entertaining and a really fun watch. So again, I hope some of you decide to try to find it and give it a watch. That's it for this episode of What a Twist. I would like to thank you all for watching, and as always, please tell your friends about us and have a good day. So there.